So guys, it looks like Respawn didn't give us the full story when they released the patch notes for the Chaos Theory collection event. Obviously we all knew that Caustic and Gibby were gonna get nerfed in this collection event, in this update, because those patch notes were very clear. Caustic's gas damage was reduced and his ultimate cooldown was increased, and Gibby no longer could heal faster in his bubble, right? But Respawn did leave out some very important nerfs as well in the patch notes. But this time, these nerfs were not just directed to Caustic and Gibby. Bangalore also had a very secret nerf in the recent update. And it's kind of funny to me that Caustic and Bangalore, two of the most prominent legends in this update, because of one, the Caustic tongue takeover, and two, because of Bangalore's new heirloom, both of these legends got secret nerfs, which is kind of funny because they were supposed to be like, you know, the most popular legends during this time because of these events, and Respawn also nerfed them, which is really funny to me. So let's talk about what Respawn did to these legends, guys. If you're ready, as always, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. A like goes a very long way on YouTube. I know I ask you guys to like the video a lot, but it's because, trust me, a like is very, you know, crucial on YouTube nowadays. So if you guys could drop a like, I'd appreciate that so much. And also, why not hit that sub button if you're new to the channel. So first up, let's take a look at what Respawn did to Caustic and Bangalore. The nerf that Respawn actually talks about in the patch notes was that Caustic's ultimate cooldown would be increased by 1 minute and his gas will now do less damage, right? Everyone knows about those two nerfs. But Respawn also forgot to mention one very big nerf as well, and this is that you can now see through Caustic gas and Bangalore smoke a lot easier. Now this might not sound like a huge nerf because it's not as big as, like, you know, Caustic's gas damage going down, but you'd be surprised how much shots I miss, how much, you know, it kind of affects my aim when I can't see a Caustic in his gas. Caustics can get away with so much really insane plays because of the lack of visibility when they actually have their gas out, right? So this is a very interesting nerf, and it will make Caustic once again less effective in Season 8. And the exact same thing can be said with Bangalore. Bangalore smoke are very effective because they reduce visibility so much. It's very hard to, like, track down a Bangalore who's running away and they're using their smokes effectively because, as I just said, the smoke really impairs your vision, right? So I went into the firing range, guys, and I tested out to see just how much this nerf affected Caustic's gas and Bangalore's smoke in terms of the visibility, right? And in terms of Caustic's gas, it actually does make a significant difference. I can see the dummies in the firing range a lot easier even when Caustic's gas is thrown down. So as you can see right here, this most likely will make a very big difference in game. The gas isn't as thick, it's a lot easier to actually see through the gas now. So for all of you Caustic mains out there, I'm sorry, not so much, because Caustic is one of the most frustrating legends to play against in this game. But yeah, the gas is a lot easier to see through right now. Now in terms of Bangalore's smoke is still pretty much very strong, it's still very thick, it's still very hard to see through. I'm not sure if Respawn had, like, different, you know, nerfs for each of these things, like if they nerfed Caustic's gas a bit more, but it was still very difficult to see through Bangalore smoke, which to me is fine because the whole purpose of Bangalore smoke really is supposed to be to impair vision, right? Caustic's gas also does damage, Bangalore smoke doesn't really do damage, so it should be more difficult to see through Bangalore smoke as opposed to Caustic's gas. Now a dev at Respawn also confirmed these nerfs over on Twitter. His name is Eric Hewitt, and here's what he said. Particle FX count was lowered for Caustic gas, tactical and ultimate, Bangalore smoke, and Gibraltar ult. Now obviously he mentioned Gibby as well, and I'll get to Gibby in a sec, but this 100% confirms that Caustic's gas and Bangalore smoke basically will be a lot easier to see through now because of the particle count being lowered. So for all of my Bangalore and Caustic mains out there, let me know if this change has been affecting you in game, and have you even noticed that the gas and the smoke isn't as thick and it's actually easier to see through now? What are your thoughts on that? I honestly really don't play Caustic or Bangalore that much, so this really won't affect me, but I still feel for you guys who tend to use these legends a lot in game, so let me know your thoughts. Now moving on to Gibby, right? Gibby is a very interesting legend in this update because obviously his first nerf, which was, you know, fast heals being removed when he's in his bubble, That was a very big nerf in itself because that was a very strong asset that Gibby had. Like, let's say you beam the Gibby from a good distance away, they could just put down their bubble, heal up, you could rush them and die because of the fast heals, right? So Respawn removing fast heals for Gibby in itself was a very significant change, and it did change the meta slightly. But they also conveniently forgot to mention one very important fact, and this is that Gibby's gun shield was also nerfed in this most recent update, which is really interesting because we all expected Respawn to nerf Gibby's gun shield sometime, but I think we were all expecting it to be in season 9. So if you guys have been watching my most recent videos, I talked about, you know, Gibby getting damage bleed through on his gun shield, which basically means that of course his gun shield will still block incoming damage, but if the damage exceeds 50 damage in like one shot, so for example a PK shot, a Kraber shot, a Mastiff shot, if it's more than 50 damage, the rest of the damage will bleed through into Gibby. So let's just hypothetically say you hit Gibby for like 100 damage, right? The gun shield obviously will block 50 damage, and the remaining 50 damage will then damage Gibby, which to me is a very fine change. It's balanced that way. Gibby's gun shield should not be able to block a whole Kraber shot. That's just crazy. So this change to me does make a lot of sense. It doesn't make Gibby's gun shield completely useless. It obviously still has a lot of usage in it, but it just makes it a bit more balanced, which to me is fine. So that's Gibby's first secret nerf, which to me is very big, and Respawn should have mentioned it. Maybe Respawn just simply forgot to add it into the patch notes, who knows, but it's a very big, you know, big change. But as I recently said in this video, they also reduced the particle effects count for Gibby's ult, and I'm not sure what that means. I'm not really sure into like the technical terms and stuff, but it most likely will mean that it'll be easier now to actually see through Gibby's ult. So again, it is a very small nerf. I did check this in the firing range as well, and to me it wasn't a very big nerf. It's a very small change, and it doesn't really affect Gibby's ult too much. So Gibby's ult will still be very strong. So there we have it. Gibby, Caustic and Bangalore all got some very secret nerfs in this update. As I said, I'm not sure why Respawn didn't put all of these changes in the patch notes, because to me, those nerfs definitely should be in the patch notes. But there's one legend who, you know, wasn't really supposed to get a nerf in this patch, but for some reason, they still got nerfed, which to me makes no sense. And this legend here is Loba. Loba has always been a very interesting legend because she has insane potential, but for some reason her bracelet just never works. It never works when it's supposed to work. And ever since Loba even came into Apex, Respawn has been trying to find ways to like fix, you know, all of her bracelet glitches and stuff. There's many times I've used Loba in the past, and for some reason I throw my bracelet and it just doesn't teleport and I die because of that. So Respawn has been actively trying to fix and just correct all of those issues. But in the most recent patch, once again, there was some more, you know, glitches and some more areas where Loba's bracelet just cannot teleport to.
Now, let's see what treasures you have for me. Jump drive activated. Throwing jump drive.
Can someone clip this, please?
Listen, let's move here. Activating jump drive. Jump drive in position. Jump drive in position. Tossing jump drive.
So yeah, Loba is in some serious trouble right now. Hopefully Respawn rectifies these issues as quick as possible. I feel like it's time for Loba to really, you know, achieve her full potential in this game. She's really been average or below average since season 5, and these bracelet glitches doesn't make it any, you know, better for Loba. So Loba mains, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. Now that's it for me today, guys. What are your thoughts on all of these secret nerfs in Apex? The Caustic nerf, the Bangalore nerf, the Gibby nerf, and the unintentional Loba nerf. What are your thoughts? Let me know. I hope you enjoyed as always, and I'll see you in some more Apex. Till next time.